Hello. This is the disrespect episode and thank you episode. So this is to you. A big thanks, shout out to you distant family. My wonderful mother told me you cannot bury truth or kindness. Either will be known sooner or later. So please share this video and click the turn on button for notifications for upcoming live videos. And please share this video and your thoughts and comments below. I would like to share the following topics which have created a sea of thoughts in me that I will now anchor down for you and read to you. First, the kindness before the thoughts. This is a platform, Good Vibes Present Solutions. It's a platform for positivity and success and celebrating achievements and thoughts. So I'd like to give a shout out to you, those of you who, of all ethnicities, everyone who has their daily struggles and finding the strength each day to face them, you know, to do anything that feeds your soul despite the adversity, internally and externally. Salute to you and thank you. Thank you to those leading by example, you know, not being affected by prejudice that your family, friends, colleagues, people hold. Thank you for holding it down, people. You know, there are some people that deserve a drop kick to the throat, you know, but you're holding it down and rising above and not lowering yourself to their nonsense. Thank you. Salute. Thank you those that treat others equally, despite your family and friends not serving us in the shops, despite us coming to your door to deliver a service that's been booked because of our hard work, because you're afraid we're going to rob you, attack you, blinded by this prejudice that holds no water. Thank you to those working on their future, securing, safeguarding our future collectively. Thank you to those on the front line in the public services, working all kinds of hours for nonsense or no pay. Funding cuts. There's enough money to go around. It's just not political will or a drawbridge mentality or, you know, allowing dysfunction to function. Thank you for delivering those services to us. Thank you to those who find the strength to study away from home and loved ones and being isolated abroad in places like China, Libya, Australia, America, Russia, Brazil, all kinds of places around the world where you are seen as nothing, but know you are everything and carry the world within you, facing abuse daily, you know, hostile environment. Yet we are welcoming in ours, in our homes, allowing others to take root, to find their potential, to find their futures, to connect. Salute for remaining in your studies, you know, and facing attack. To those demanding accountability from our so-called leaders within the political, religious and lobbying and other spheres. Thank you for demanding accountability, truth, shared influence in a positive way, you know, overcoming enemies of progress, taking a stand. Thank you. Thank you to those lobbying and marching against our oppressors who shine the light on those who attack us, yet we keep pushing so they know you attack one of us anywhere in this world, we will return twofold, tenfold. Massively, globally, we are millions, billions, and you will be held to account. Thank you for facing another day. You are not alone. Shout out to those, this is dedicated to you, those of you who show no fear. Adult content is about to follow, and adult language. Thank you for showing no fear, for not rising to provocation. Thank you for giving zero fucks, considering the adversity you face. Those of you who demand more and question, those of you who are not allowing others to dictate their choices onto yours. If we're not attacking in conversation, we all learn at different paces. Thank you for listening actively, as my friend Samantha McKay says, actively listening to each other and not superimposing your preferences onto others just for the sake of it. Those who work hard, multiple jobs, that are not highfalutin, that are not, you know, cleaning jobs, anything like this, more power to you. You're putting food on the table, working hard. Thank you. Thank you to those who do not get acknowledgement, unsung heroes all the time. We give thanks to you, those who are carers, child carers, to their parents, their family members, guardians, you know, carrying a lot on your shoulders. Give thanks, give thanks. Stay strong. So that's the kindness part. Now to the truth. I welcome your thoughts and let me know if any of the following topics are relatable to you. This was meant to be an interview with an amazing guy who would come another time, but this is going to be a standalone. Let me know how you think we are disrespected, individually, collectively, experiences you have faced, and how do you think some of us bring disrespect onto ourselves. Welcome your thoughts and give insights on this discussion. What don't we see, basically? Collectively, billions globally, we are disrespected, but also it's how we treat ourselves negatively, the unnecessary distractions from our greatness. Your thoughts, insights are welcome. We're always here to learn. Please share this video, tap the turn on button for notifications for videos to come, and comment below. What is it we're not seeing? Let's share our experiences on things like our achievements, thoughts on our ancestors, our identity, racism, colorism, shadism, this light skin, dark skin nonsense, language, slang, patois, pidgin, you know, sending money back home when we are struggling here, instead of coming together, pooling our resources together, so, you know, not being able to put food on the table, but showing shakara, not, you know, keeping up appearances despite the struggle. You know, this informal economy, yes, we are here to look after each other, but if you're not allowed to look after self first, how can you look after somebody else? It's like that thing of giving oxygen to yourself first before your child, the oxygen mask. Your thoughts, please. Unrealistic expectations and ideals. It could be anything. Governance and politics, Independence Day celebrations, unemployment, workplace politics, business and trade, importer, exporter, this kind of things. You know, how are we being disrespected or exploited with our resources, media, publication, education? Let us know. So I just, if you wanted to share my reality and experiences with racism, or how I've been disrespected, both obvious and sly, whether it be strangers or former colleagues who had no reason to spread lies or just be miserable. You know, I'd never badmouth anybody, yet these are the kind of things you have to deal with in the workplace and elsewhere. This kind of passive aggression, jealousy, competition is fine, but you know, teamwork. I thought it was about teamwork, and then have a life outside of work. But unfortunately, these aren't the experiences. They have been worse. My thing is, I really think only psychopaths would attack without provocation because of skin colour. You know, unprovoked, and then smile in your face whilst doing it. So I am an African of Nigerian heritage, raised in a loving home with a bond that transcends skin colour and at times society's understanding. My father is Caucasian and has raised me as his own for most of my life, whilst never denying my heritage. You know, calling me Aleakwe, which is my preference and my native name, but you know, all of these things, loving family, friends from all walks of life and backgrounds who have been constant and make me what I am and make me better every day. The facts are, there are good people that unite, irrespective of skin and social conditioning. It saddens me that we still have to say this and remind some that this is a fact. We can be united, and we are. So let's tell it like it is. No one enjoys being hated. No one. Non-Caucasians, including me, do not want to waste our energy having to defend ourselves, our greatness, and what we do every day. We just want to get on with life. But I suppose this is the point, isn't it? To keep us distracted, exhausted, and under pressure, and distracted from our path in life, and through racism, and keep us distrustful. You can try, but it's not working for some. Some experiences and some truths of mine. I remember visiting Croatia, probably in 2000, and being so warmly welcomed by a host family, the harbour master's family, strangers to us. I caught some fish spikes in my soles of my feet. No English. Hours. She took the time, the harbour master's wife, take out these pins from my soles of my feet. You know, welcome warmly. You know, tutus the next day, children making monkey noises at me, which at the time, years ago, it hurt, but thinking on it, doesn't matter. What's embarrassing is their ignorance, because I get why people react, but I don't get why people react too deeply with monkey noises and bananas being thrown on the pitch and stuff. You have the power. Monkeys, apes, intelligent, superior intelligence. So, wetting, yeah, that's me as a human. It doesn't matter. So, didn't react, was just surprised kids so young did that. They were like under 6 at the time. And other experiences, as I said, although I've never badmouthed people, I face workplace lies from insecure colleagues, which is amazing that it's not even that matters. What's worse is the people who do not seek truth from the person that's being talked about, but will believe the lies. Do you need to belong so strongly that you believe people that will stab you in the back as soon as your back is turned, rather than someone who's just trying to get on with work? But you know, it's kindergarten playground politics. It doesn't stay in childhood, it remains in adult life, unfortunately. Even my baby, you know, she's under 2, faced hostility, just, you know, being friendly with Caucasian mothers in the playground and playgroups. Why? Handbags being picked up and held close. For what reason? For what reason? The African Caribbean men who chirps me when I was on my own waiting for my boyfriend, and then verbally abused me 10 minutes later when they saw he was Caucasian. This is a long time ago, but it was the switch. Is it? Being shouted black bastards across the road by some urban rednecks, you know, fearful for my kid sisters who were with me. You know, it's sad. You never know what they would have done. Thankfully they continued driving, probably back to their caves and knuckles dragging. The Southeast Asian boys in high school, I remember all of you. You don't matter now, but I remember all of you and how sad you are. The Southeast Asian boys in high school who said the N-word just loudly, just so they can get a reaction out of me. I didn't give them the satisfaction. I just laughed at them and walked away before something bad happened. The boys of Jewish faith who said a disgusting racist joke when the French teacher stepped out of class for a minute and everybody laughed, and then wondered why I didn't want to hang around them, and smiled in my face like nothing was wrong. The boy who said, "Smile, we can't see you in the dark," as a teenager, and then fast forward visiting family, he was on the bus and then tried to make conversation and then wondered why I just looked through him and gave him a dirty stare and carried on walking. You know who you are, people. You know who you are. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. There's a chip on our shoulder. You put it there and then poured the hot oil on it and wonder why there's scars. Walk on. The Caucasian boy friend, a friend in high school who stood up for me, the African girl that nobody wanted to kiss and spin the bottle. You're a G. I remember that, going against the grain. Thankfully, not everyone is full of hate and ignorance, but let's not pretend, as I said. The world sees white, yet they pretend it's African and black provocation. Nazis still march with torchlights, and TV still show Hitler as the only dictator that persecutes a race of people. Mayafa and Holocaust deniers, you should feel profound shame as genocides continue. Despite the good policemen and women who truly protect and serve us, we also have ongoing public executions of Africans and African Caribbeans being murdered by uniformed thugs. Imagine those that we can't see. Things like a lady recently being suspected of carrying marijuana, so she's pulled out of her car in front of people, shoved under the vehicle, and then vaginally searched for 11 minutes. None of this is new. What's incredulous is that, quote unquote, the spokesperson said that it could maybe be criminal. As I said, there are good people trying to serve us and protect against the grain, intimidation, trying to be righteous and actually deliver on our tax money. But if the bad and the corrupt are rarely prosecuted for these public executions, doesn't that mean that these killings are sanctioned by government if there are rarely any prosecutions? It doesn't add up. What aren't we seeing? Let us know. As I said, it seems that these executions and public brutality against our people, it could be any of us, it seems like a tool to control people through fear. It's akin to the public executions in Saudi Arabia, or the ones that used to occur in Latin America, ones that go on throughout the world. Imagine what we don't see. Philippines, everywhere. As I said, none of this is new, it's just being recorded. Please share your thoughts on any of this. Of course, some say racism doesn't exist, but of course we see it all the time. And I'm sure most of this, as you guys know, people are dealing with worse than this, like the racial profiling and the stop and search of people as young as 8, 9, ongoing. Yes, there's bad people out there. They need to be caught. But this harassment, it's obvious, a provocation for people to get a criminal record or worse. Provocation, that's all you're doing. Keep provoking, see what happens. So, as we said, this is called, I'd love to know how you believe as an individual you have been disrespected, as a collective, as billions of people around the world, how we are disrespected. It doesn't matter about ethnicity, but I'm talking about non-Caucasians. Everyone has their hardships, but non-Caucasians, how are we disrespected collectively? So the kind of topics that I'm talking about are ancestry, heritage, achievements, immigration, independent resources, businesses, identity, cultural appropriation, hair and beauty, body size, body shaming, attire, charity ads, media and education. I'll give you some thoughts and I'd love your insights on this, and we can learn together, teach me. So how we collectively are disrespected, and how some of us disrespect we. The inability to accept we are distant relatives. We are connected by DNA. Yes, some family are blood. They might not act like family, and families are dysfunctional, but we are distant relatives. Why treat each other badly? Ancestry, heritage, the uncivilized, quote unquote uncivilized, leading to people we are negatively portrayed as. murdered and scapegoated by society, leading to police brutality and profiling that we mentioned earlier. You know, being complicit via ignorance and apathy, not aware of research in our history before colonialism. Achievements. Share our achievements. It shouldn't be a surprise that we're the first this and the first that. We were the first this and first that a long time ago in all spheres. But it's good, we need to share. I'm still learning. Needs to be promoted in the mainstream. Share positive achievements, not only sport and music and celebrity, education, STEM, law, you know, what's it called? Immigration policy. We'll hear more about that another episode. Refugees, all of these things. African Union needs support. There are good politicians there, no borders. You know, look to actual leaders like politicians and presidents in Rwanda and Tanzania who aren't taking any second-hand textiles to be dumped in Africa. Billions is made in that. Things like the, I think it's a Tanzanian president spending actually public money on public, things like resources and economics, independence, unpaid corporate tax, aid. It's not aid. What's it called? You're thieving. You claim it back. Who really wants to leave their home to be elsewhere? They obviously need to feed their families and self. Think of the one day when your belly was rumbling with hunger, the pain, the headache, the lack of functioning. People are driven to leave their homeland. And this drawbridge mentality, the tables will turn. Financing debts and dependence, families supporting those back home when these are highly educated, employable people that, you know, with some politicians selling our futures in short-term thinking. On a micro level and on a federal government level, it amazes me that people kiss the arse of those that look down on them. When they no longer need you, you will be disposable. When they no longer need you and they've bribed you with national cake, what do you think is going to happen to you? You will be left to feed on the scraps, if that. You know, the independence. We are still dependent economically. They respect money, not us. So to celebrate Independence Days, I celebrate our heritage, I get that. But independence, there's still names of your colonizers. All of these things, you've adopted models, business models, economic models, political models that do not fit your practice. We are naturally resourceful, natural entrepreneurs, natural business people wearing ill-fitting suits. You're rejecting your own natural powers and resources whilst you're being exploited with this short-term thinking. What is it we don't see about trade? I'd love to know and try and understand. Yes, it's great that foreign powers invest in infrastructure, but if you only care about yourself, so-called leaders and policymakers, and not your people, why don't you lease out the land? I don't understand why you just sell land for life. Why don't you lease it out and make the money off that? Taxes. Why don't you ensure that the majority, or at least 50% of indigenous local people are trained as apprentices, train those skills as a stipulation in these trade agreements? They need you more than you need them. You can still make money for life, but you just sell it down the road. This is why you are laughed at and we are laughed at around the world. Some of us anyway. The rest of us are keeping it real and will rise. Identity and language, teaching, it's great. Embrace other languages and such, but why don't you make local languages as important? you know, language being passed on or not spoken. An elder, when I visited home years ago, spoke to me in my local dialect. I understood some words, but when I didn't respond fully, he asked me, why weren't you taught this language? And out of respect, I stayed quiet. And he understood. And then he said, we need to learn our languages and know our languages in case of danger. Also, they're beautiful. So, you know, don't let anyone cuss you when you're speaking your own language and not the dominant language or a foreign language or patois or pidgin. These, you know, like a lot of words, Latin and French words are in the English, are the foundation, are mixed up in English language as well. But to be more proud of speaking English and put down your own native language or not even pass it on, you know, others have said it's shameful, and it is. Identity is systematically stripping the identity of billions of people, and there's people enabling their own extinction, whether it's the, you know, what's it called, in so many ways. Cultural appropriation, carnival, inclusion is good, but events like, someone said to me, well, why do they always dilute African and African Caribbean carnival and stuff like that? But they wouldn't do that to Mela or any other things like that. I love inclusion, it's all right, but at the same time, defend protectionism. There's nothing wrong with that. All communities do that. It's for survival. Please share your thoughts, it'll be great. And share this video. Welcome any thoughts, insights. What is it we don't see? You know, unless our so-called leaders are being held to ransom or with military, or threatened with military force, what are the excuses for protectionism, survival, empowerment, and rising economically, socially, and on all fronts? And lack of ownership and investment in each other. So much potential, so much. Hair, beauty, body. You know, things like workplace discrimination and such. Wow. I know a lot of things are done with good intention, but some are not. Be careful what you say. Why would you or others dictate how people should carry themselves, wear their hair, look, dress, choices? You would hate that done to you, but this casualization is toxic. It means you have no respect for the person you're trying to change to be like you. Everyone is different. There's not only one way. If it's not harming you or them, what's your own? So there's so much. There's so much. There's so much to say, but that's a start. I thank you for sharing. All I know is that, you know, we are amazing, amazing people. And as I said, we carry the world within us. And we have the answers within and with each other. Please, please, what solutions do you have? Share this video. Let's help each other. All I want to say is, again, this is a thank you video. Thank you for all. Do not fear your strength. Stop bullying and dictating to each other. We all learn at different paces. There's so much. There's such a gift of life. We are a gift to each other, you know. Know what you are going through. Some of you I know, a lot of you I don't. But we have so much to learn for each other. We can be there for each other. And this helplessness, you're not alone. It's not. It's by force or by fire. Our time will come if we unite. So I beg, give each other a chance. Salute. Take care.